Story 1. Before delving into today's stories, I'd like to discuss our sponsor for the day, Morgan & Morgan. When my dad was younger, he experienced a severe car accident that left him with several injuries. The other driver was at fault, and while their insurance covered the damages, my dad endured significant pain and suffering. Back then, hiring a lawyer seemed daunting, so he never considered it. Little did he know, he could have had a lawyer fighting for him without leaving his couch. Morgan & Morgan has revolutionized the process of injury law, allowing you to submit a claim and communicate with your legal team conveniently through your phone. As America's largest injury law firm, with over 100 offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of securing full and fair compensation for clients, with over $15 billion recovered. Submitting an injury claim with them is as easy as using an app, akin to ordering takeout. In just 8 clicks or less, you can submit a claim without ever leaving your couch. If you ever find yourself injured in an accident, visit fortepeople.com or dial #law from your cell phone for more information. My friend Kyle is the proud owner of a 27-footer center console boat. During the summer, he becomes the go-to friend for boat days since none of our other friends own one. I'm no boat expert, but Kyle has some kind of radar on his boat that warns us of land masses, shallow waters, and other boats. Thanks to this, we can stay out on the boat even after dark. The boat comfortably fits around 8 people. One scorching summer day in mid-July, Kyle took 5 of us out on the boat for a leisurely drink in the bay. Hours later, he decided to take us to a waterfront bar restaurant where we docked the boat. We indulged in food, drinks, and relaxed for a few more hours. The cooler still had an abundance of spiked seltzers. And since it was a Friday night, we decided to head back to the middle of the lagoon, cruising slowly with music blaring. Kyle doesn't drink, which works out perfectly since he enjoys boating us around without the need to partake in alcohol. As we passed by the lighthouse on the barrier island, we engaged in a conversation about the eerie and liminal aura that surrounds lighthouses at night. Suddenly, Kyle cut the engine, and we found ourselves floating in place for a while, the music still playing. Engrossed in my thoughts, I couldn't help but fixate on the lighthouse. The ongoing conversation faded into the background, and that's when I heard it, a distant scream. I urgently exclaimed, "Cut the music," repeatedly until the person in control paused it. I heard a scream from the distance, I said. We were currently floating next to an island situated between the mainland and the barrier islands. As we sat in silence, our boat gently bobbing, the truth became undeniable. The screams were indeed emanating from that very island. We were too far away from both the mainland and the barrier island for the screams to originate from there. We screamed back at the top of our lungs, and the woman's voice responded with a plea for help. With a mix of fear and determination, we repeatedly shouted, "Where are you?" The woman's voice replied, "I'm being followed." Communicating under these circumstances proved challenging, as our voices barely reached one another. Undeterred, we inquired once more, "Are you on the island?" And her desperate affirmation confirmed our suspicions. Without hesitation, Kyle started the engine, bringing us closer to the island. He anchored us when we reached the shore of the small island. All 6 of us disembarked from the boat, brandishing our flashlights and calling out for the woman. The situation grew increasingly concerning when she cried out, "I'm being followed." Despite the island's modest size, with 6 of us scouring the area, we should have easily discovered her whereabouts. Suddenly, from the opposite side of the island, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air, its sound partially muffled. In a frenzy, we shouted to meet at that side of the island, sprinting as fast as our legs would carry us. I raced through the rough brush, disregarding the pain in my bare feet. By the time I reached the other side, my feet were bleeding, but there was no one in sight. Kyle and Jake were already there, breathless and wide-eyed. They recounted hearing the distant sound of a boat motor speeding away. Furthermore, there was a fresh wake in the water, evidence of a recently departed vessel. However, the darkness concealed any further details. In a state of alarm, I dialed 911, reporting the incident so that the Bay Patrol could be on the lookout for any suspicious boats with their lights off. The Bay Patrol boat arrived at Kyle's boat, where we had anchored, and we frantically shared our harrowing experience with the 2 officers on board. They radioed the information to other boats on duty, initiating a full-scale manhunt. Unfortunately, I don't believe the boat was ever found, as it never made it to the news or any reports. All we knew was that when we searched the island, there was no trace of the woman. We were all profoundly shaken by the ordeal. Kyle decided to return the boat to the marina, and we gathered in his backyard, attempting to make sense of what had transpired. To this day, the mystery remains unresolved. There were no news articles about missing women that we could find. Was it a kidnapping, or perhaps just a group playing a cruel prank? The answers elude us, and we may never truly know the truth behind that haunting encounter. As we sat in Kyle's backyard, the dim glow of the porch lights casting an eerie atmosphere, our conversation revolved around theories and speculations. Each of us recounted the events of that fateful night, dissecting every detail in search of answers. The ambience was heavy with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. We questioned whether the screams were genuine or merely an elaborate ruse. Could it have been a desperate ploy for attention? Or was there something truly sinister at play? The absence of any news coverage or missing person reports only added to the enigma, leaving us to grapple with our own imaginations. Days turned into weeks, and still the incident remained unresolved. We tried to move on, occupying ourselves with other aspects of our lives, yet the memory of that chilling night lingered like a phantom presence. Deep down, we yearned for closure, an explanation that would put our fears to rest. Months later, a chance encounter reignited the dormant embers of our curiosity. While browsing the local news, one of us stumbled upon a brief article buried within the pages, a small mention of a mysterious boat spotted near the island on that same summer night. The article hinted at a potential connection to an ongoing investigation into an underground smuggling operation. Suddenly, our minds raced with new possibilities. Could the woman's pleas for help have been a desperate cry for freedom from her captors? Did we inadvertently stumble upon a criminal operation concealed within the darkness of the night? Fueled by a newfound sense of purpose, we embarked on our own investigation, determined to uncover the truth. We combed through online forums, delving into the depths of conspiracy theories and whispered urban legends. Each lead we pursued offered a glimpse into a world we had never imagined, the hidden underbelly of our seemingly tranquil coastal community. Late-night stakeouts, covert meetings, and clandestine conversations became the norm for us as we waded deeper into the murky waters of the unknown. Our dedication to unraveling the mystery transformed us into amateur detectives, united by a shared sense of purpose and an unyielding desire for justice. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but with each step forward, we discovered more questions than answers. Our search led us to encounters with shady characters, dead ends, and even moments of genuine danger. Yet, our resolve remained unshaken, fueled by the memory of that scream and the faceless woman whose life might hang in the balance. As our investigation reached its zenith, we found ourselves standing on the precipice of a revelation, an opportunity to expose the dark underbelly of our community and bring those responsible to justice. It was a dangerous path we had chosen, fraught with uncertainty and the ever-present threat of retribution. But in our hearts, we knew that we couldn't turn back. The night arrived when our carefully laid plans were set into motion. We coordinated with local authorities, sharing our findings and providing them with the information necessary to take down the criminal network that operated beneath the surface. As we watched from the shadows, we witnessed a synchronized effort as law enforcement agencies descended upon the hidden operation, apprehending those involved one by one. With the mission accomplished, a sense of relief washed over us. The woman's haunting screams had not been in vain. We had been part of something greater, a fight against the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. And although we may never truly know the woman's fate, we found solace in the fact that we had made a difference. Years have passed since that life-altering night, and our paths have diverged, carrying us along separate journeys. Yet, the bond forged in the crucible of that eerie encounter remains unbreakable. Whenever we gather, our conversations inevitably circle back to that summer night, the unsolved mystery that bound us together. We may never find closure, but we carry the knowledge that we dared to face the unknown, standing as a testament to the power of friendship, determination, and the unyielding human spirit. And in the depths of our souls, we hope that the woman whose voice echoed through the night found her way to safety, free from the clutches of darkness. Story 2. This is a story that has been passed down in my family for generations. A tale that sends shivers down our spines and ignites our imaginations. It takes us back to the 1980s when my dad and Uncle Jack, both passionate fishermen, embarked on a deep-sea fishing adventure that would forever haunt our memories. Uncle Jack owned a magnificent two-cabin cruiser, a relic from the 1970s, which he docked in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. My dad, always eager to join his brother on these fishing escapades, would occasionally make the journey to spend a weekend at sea. I never developed a taste for fishing myself, but through their stories, I've gained a glimpse into the thrill and excitement that it holds. On this particular night, the sky was unexpectedly cloudy, and the absence of the moon made it darker than usual. They were enjoying each other's company, sipping on beers and playing cards in the cabin after a hearty supper. However, their peaceful evening took a chilling turn when a malfunction in the boat's electrical system caused the lights to go out. Uncle Jack, armed with a feeble flashlight, ventured into the darkness to investigate the circuit panel. He discovered that 2 fuses had blown, leaving them with minimal lighting, including the crucial running lights. With no other choice, they reluctantly accepted that their fishing expedition had to be cut short, and they would have to wait until dawn to return to shore. Little did they know that the night held more in store for them. It was around an hour later when a haunting humming sound emerged from the horizon, roughly 20 meters away. Curiosity piqued, they ventured out onto the deck, struggling to discern anything in the pitch-black darkness. Rain began to drizzle, adding to the eerie ambience that enveloped them. The strange humming grew louder, permeating the air and unsettling their nerves. It didn't resemble the sound of any fish they had encountered before. Instead, my dad vividly recalls that it resembled the groans of a person in distress. Despite shining the flashlight into the abyss, their vision was limited, rendering the source of the sound a mystery. With the rain intensifying, they retreated to the safety of the cabin, acknowledging that attempting to navigate the boat in complete darkness would be foolish. Exhausted and unnerved, they sought solace in sleep, hoping that the morning light would bring clarity and ease their troubled minds. At the crack of dawn, Uncle Jack roused my dad, urging him to join him on the deck. Through the thick fog, they spotted another vessel floating eerily nearby. Determined to investigate, Uncle Jack maneuvered their boat closer and sounded the whistle, hoping to attract the attention of anyone aboard the seemingly abandoned vessel. As they approached, attaching a rope between the two boats, Uncle Jack mustered the courage to leap onto the other vessel. The cabin door was unlocked, and with trepidation, he descended into the dark depths. A putrid stench of death overwhelmed his senses as he discovered a lifeless body hanging by a rope. The shock was overwhelming, and he rushed back onto his own boat, attempting to steady himself and fight back the urge to vomit, unable to bring himself to examine the gruesome scene further. He relayed the distressing discovery to my dad, who listened with a mix of horror and disbelief, marking their coordinates. They contacted the nearest Coast Guard station using the VHF radio, eager to report the grim finding and seek assistance. Within an hour, the Coast Guard arrived, and only then did my dad and Uncle Jack make their way back to the safety of the shore. The unanswered questions haunted them. What was the source of the haunting humming sound that permeated the night? To this day, the mystery remains unsolved, adding an extra layer of unease to the already chilling tale. The incident left a profound impact on Uncle Jack, who bore the weight of witnessing the lifeless body firsthand. The image of that haunting scene lingered in his mind, casting a shadow over his future fishing expeditions. For my dad and Uncle Jack, this became the pinnacle of their collection of eerie fisherman stories. They shared it with a mix of pride and trepidation, knowing that it had etched itself into the family's folklore. Their accounts of that fateful night continue to captivate and send shivers down our spines whenever they retell it during family gatherings. As the years passed, I became more and more fascinated by the story, unable to resist the allure of the unknown. I delved into research, hoping to uncover some semblance of an explanation. Yet, no news articles or reports emerged regarding a missing person or a mysterious boat. It seemed as though the incident had vanished into the depths of obscurity, a haunting memory confined to the minds of my dad and Uncle Jack. Was it a tragic accident, a desperate act of a troubled soul, or something more sinister lurking beneath the surface? The unanswered questions kept us on the edge of our seats, igniting our imaginations and fueling late-night discussions. Speculations ran rampant within our family, each member crafting their own theory as to what truly transpired that ominous night. Some suggested that it could have been a case of foul play, with the abandoned vessel serving as a haunting testament to a crime gone unnoticed. Others pondered the existence of supernatural forces, speculating that the haunting humming sound and the dark atmosphere were the work of otherworldly entities. Despite the lack of closure, the story served as a reminder of the unpredictability of the ocean, its vastness concealing secrets that may never be fully revealed. It taught us to approach the depths with a mix of awe and caution, for beneath its surface lies a world teeming with mysteries and untold tales. And so, the story of that ill-fated fishing trip continues to be passed down from generation to generation, weaving its way into the fabric of our family history. It serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life, the thin veil that separates the mundane from the inexplicable, and the enduring power of storytelling. As we gather around the fireplace, the flickering flames casting eerie shadows on the walls, the tale of that night at sea takes on a life of its own. Each retelling adds an extra layer of detail, intensifying the suspense and deepening our connection to the past. It is a story that transcends time, leaving us with a sense of awe and a lingering question. What other secrets lie hidden within the depths of the ocean, waiting to be discovered? Story 3. In the serene surroundings of our private canal in Florida, our family resided, cherishing the tranquility it offered. Nestled in a secluded area, our 35-feet Praline Express boat and jet skis became our gateway to adventure. While this may sound like a boast, it merely sets the stage for the events that would unfold. Our family possessed multiple properties across the country, yet our Florida house held a special place in our hearts. It served as our primary residence, where my sister and I grew up and forged countless memories. Situated within a gated community, our parents frequently traveled, leaving us in charge of the house and our faithful canine companion. The unique location of our home, nestled at the end of the canal with a marsh nearby, granted us unparalleled privacy. This seclusion became the backdrop for some of our most unforgettable gatherings. On scorching days, our backyard transformed into a lively venue, where laughter and joy filled the air, shielded from prying eyes. One particularly hot day, my sister and I embarked on our jet skis, seeking solace on the shimmering waters. Within a 15-minute ride, the canal opened up into a bay, and from there we would navigate to the ocean or enjoy the serenity of the bay depending on the conditions. It was a popular spot, attracting a myriad of boats, especially during high tide. As we cruised through the bay, relishing the freedom of the open water, a medium-sized boat approached us. Its captain, an older man, struck up a conversation with us, showcasing his jet skis and regaling us with tales of his grand waterfront abode. The encounter was not without its uncomfortable moments, as he extended an invitation to swim in his pool. We politely declined, claiming the need to return home soon, while evading his inquiry about our place of residence. With a friendly farewell, we resumed our adventure, breathing a sigh of relief once we distanced ourselves from the curious stranger, though his advances were disconcerting. We brushed off the encounter as another unwelcome interaction, experienced from time to time. As the day drew to a close, we decided to conclude our excursion and head back. Gliding through the canal, we noticed the same boat trailing behind us, following our every move. Uncertain of his intentions or whether he resided in the intersecting canal, we continued on our way, docking our jet skis upon reaching home. Little did we know, this was merely the beginning of an unnerving series of events that would unravel before us. Engaged in the mundane task of washing our jet skis, we noticed the man's boat slowly approaching our dock. With an eerie smile, he praised our house and backyard, his presence casting a shadow over our sanctuary. My sister, unafraid to voice our concerns, confronted him, questioning his motives for following us home, with a feeble explanation that he also resided in the community and merely wished to explore our canal. He turned his boat around and disappeared into the marshy area. We withheld any gesture of farewell, our instincts screaming that his intentions were far from genuine. The unsettling encounter did not conclude there. In the dead of night, our dog's frantic barking jolted both my sister and me from our slumber. Instinctively, we peered out of our bedroom window, only to catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure dashing across our yard, swiftly disappearing into the darkness near the dock. Struggling to comprehend the scene, I strained my eyes but found no trace of the intruder. Fear propelled us downstairs, where we flung open the back door, illuminating the yard with the floodlights. However, the mysterious figure had vanished, leaving behind a chilling sense of unease. We couldn't deny the nagging suspicion that the man who had followed us home was behind this nocturnal disturbance. Thankfully, our vigilant guard dog served as a deterrent, perhaps preventing him from trespassing into the sanctity of our home. Determined to gather evidence and shed light on the unsettling events, we sought assistance from our canal neighbors, hoping that someone possessed surveillance cameras capturing the man's boat or any unusual activity during the night. We discovered that luck was not on our side. The gated community seemed devoid of such security measures, leaving us with a sense of vulnerability. From that night onward, every excursion on the boat or jet skis carried an undercurrent of caution. Our senses heightened, forever on the lookout for any sign of the enigmatic man and his boat lurking in the shadows. We remained alert, unwilling to allow fear to dominate our lives, but mindful of the lingering threat. Time passed, and the mysterious stranger seemed to fade into the depths of our memories. However, the unsettling experience left an indelible mark on our consciousness. It served as a reminder that even in the safety of our private haven, an undercurrent of danger could disrupt the tranquility at any moment. We shared our chilling tale with our parents upon their return, met with a mix of concern and frustration for not documenting the man's boat registration. Lessons were learned, and our family became more vigilant, taking steps to bolster the security of our property and investing in surveillance systems to safeguard our peace of mind. To this day, whenever we venture out onto the glistening waters, the memory of that unsettling encounter remains etched in our minds. It serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even in idyllic settings, there can exist dark shadows that threaten to intrude upon our serenity. The tale of the mysterious man who followed us home continues to resonate, etching itself into the folklore of our family's shared experiences. It serves as a chilling reminder that while the world may seem peaceful and serene, danger can lurk just beyond the surface, waiting for an opportune moment to disrupt our lives. In the end, our family's strength and unwavering bond prevailed over the unsettling events that unfolded on that fateful day. We remained vigilant, forever watchful, and determined to protect the sanctuary of our home and the tranquility it offered. And while the enigmatic man may have faded into the depths of our memories, his presence serves as a lasting reminder of the importance of vigilance and unity in the face of the unknown. As the years passed, the memory of that eerie encounter gradually faded, but it never truly disappeared. It became a cautionary tale that we shared with friends and visitors, a chilling reminder of the need to stay alert and trust our instincts, even in the most idyllic settings. Our family's bond grew stronger in the aftermath of that incident. We became even more protective of one another, developing an unspoken code of safety and security. Every time we set foot on our boat or embarked on a jet ski adventure, we did so with an extra sense of caution. Our eyes constantly scanned the horizon, searching for any signs of the man in this boat, ensuring that we remained one step ahead. Over time, we took additional measures to fortify our own security. We installed motion sensor lights along the canal, casting an illuminating glow over the waters during the nighttime hours. A high-tech security system with surveillance cameras became a crucial addition, offering us peace of mind and a means to monitor any potential threats. The incident also left a lasting impact on our dog. Previously a friendly and carefree companion, she developed a heightened sense of protectiveness. Her instincts sharpened, and she became more attuned to any unusual sounds or movements, serving as our ever-vigilant guardian. Despite our collective efforts to move forward and enjoy the serene beauty of our private canal, there were moments when we couldn't shake off a sense of unease. The tranquility of the waterways now carried a subtle undercurrent of caution. Our family gatherings and backyard parties, once carefree and joyous, were now occasionally tinged with a lingering sense of apprehension. But as time passed and no further incidents occurred, we gradually found solace in the healing embrace of normalcy. Our lives regained their rhythm, and the haunting memory of that man and his boat began to fade into the realm of distant nightmares. We realized that we couldn't let fear dictate our lives, that we had to reclaim the joy and freedom that our private canal once represented. Today, our family continues to cherish our time spent on the water. The boat and jet skis have become vessels of adventure and exhilaration once again, rather than reminders of past encounters. We navigate the canal with a renewed sense of confidence, the echoes of that eerie encounter dissipating with each passing wave. Yet, somewhere deep within us, the memory lingers, a constant reminder of the fragility of our peace and the importance of remaining vigilant in a world that sometimes conceals dangers beneath its surface. It serves as a testament to the resilience and unity of our family, who turned a terrifying experience into an opportunity for growth and strengthened bonds. And so, we sail forth, embracing the beauty and tranquility of our private canal, mindful of the lessons learned and the unspoken pact to protect one another.